Hello, I'm Philip Brunelle, Artistic Director and founder of Vocal Essence and organist choirmaster at Plymouth Congregational Church in Minneapolis. So each day I've selected a different composer from the past and the present, a composer that's had a role to play with these two organizations. And today it's the African-American composer William Banfield, born in 1961, a good friend of mine who lived for a number of years here in the Twin Cities when he taught at St. Thomas University, and his wife Crystal worked here at Vocal Essence. He's a composer, a guitarist, an educator, an author. He's a busy, wonderful man. He studied at the New England Conservatory, at Boston University, and then got his PhD at the University of Michigan, where he studied with T.J. Anderson and William Balcom, among a number of notables. He's written 6 books on cultural criticism and on contemporary Black composers. For 15 years, just now retired, he has been at Berklee College of Music in Boston, heading up their Center for Africana Studies. There's a lot of music of Bill's. I've done a number of pieces. One of the early ones I did was a set of 3 short prayers that he wrote for choir and organ. And the whole beginning of it is like a prayer starting out. You don't hear the voices for a long time, but the organ and now the tenor solo sings. And it begins the text. We ask that confusion give way to clarity. And the wonderful sense that he does with a little repetition figure like this that just kind of keeps going all the way through as a kind of mantra, a kind of prayer that he does, and eventually then the choir joins after a long solo, and the choir comes in and they sing the text, we ask, and again. And then the basses sing the text, we ask that confusion. So the themes that were developed in that opening introduction all begin little by little to come into his music. Bill has also been commissioned several times by Vocal Essence, and one of the pieces that we performed of his is a piece based on the text of Langston Hughes, Deep Like the Rivers. And near the end of that piece, you feel the river with this constant motion of the basses going. One choir, and then the other choir of basses. And then you hear the tenors. So this kind of flowing. Meanwhile, while that's happening, you hear other voices coming in. So when you put it together, you have kind of wonderful mix of jazz chords and feeling all the way through it. Well, another work of his that I love is a piece called Reveries, a summer cycle. It's a piece that we performed here at Orchestra Hall, and it's a piece that Carolyn Mitchell composed the text, and it was Marietta Simpson, the wonderful mezzo, who came and sang with us. It's a kind of version of a week in the life of a person. And this is the beginning of it, the first part called Tender Years. So you get this feeling of the dreaming going on when you hear the orchestra going. And then so they just sing the words, tender years, and then the text begins. Tender years were measured off in the timelessness of summer days and endlessness of country lanes, summer days that had no ending. And so you get that wonderful kind of feeling of breeziness and feeling of summertime when you get. And then after this, Marietta comes in and sings, I Remember When. And the orchestra. So you get that wonderful feeling of expansiveness that's part of what Bill loves to do. This is all part of this piece called Reveries, a Summer Circle. Have a wonderful day.